So, welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and this is my continuing coverage of the 2015 NBA playoffs. I'm going to be discussing the second round matchup between two Eastern Conference teams, the number 1 seed Atlanta Hawks and the number 5 seed Washington Wizards. And to start with, the Hawks, they did not play as well as they thought they would in round 1. They struggled a little bit against the Nets, but they're still a great team that is loaded with talent, and when they play well, they are hard to defeat. Offensively, they rely mostly on ball movement. They love to shoot the outside shots. Even though they are undersized, they can score in the post, although that's not really their strength. Washington, they've got size. They can out-rebound them, and they have to, because if Atlanta can somehow manage to out-rebound you, then you're going to lose the game, because that's probably the worst part of their game. But but for Washington, you have to be able to stay committed to defense throughout the entire shot clock until you do secure that defensive board, because the more opportunities they have to put up those 3-pointers, the more that score is just going to keep going up. You don't want to keep giving them shots, so they have to play good position defense, and they have to play good offense. They can't turn the ball over too much. I think Atlanta, even though they are undersized, they can both score and defend in the post, just not as well as they could if they had some 7-footers. So, Washington is more than capable of winning this game. This will be a relatively tight series compared to what they had in round 1. And, I think, it'll definitely be a battle. A lot of it comes down to those role players. We know that Wall and Gortat, they're going to get their numbers. We know that Korver's going to hit threes. We know that Horford and Millsap, they should be able to get some good production. But is DeMarre Carroll going to be able to keep putting up the kind of numbers he's had in in that first round series? Is Paul Pierce going to be able to continue being a strong factor? And which team is going to have the better bench? Technically, you could say, Atlanta, most people would give them their bench advantage, I think. But they haven't been going to that bench from what I've seen recently. And Washington, I feel like even Atlanta's bench is deeper, but Washington, I think their bench is stronger, even though they don't go as deep. And I think, whichever bench plays best, that gives you a huge edge. Even though, in the end, it's still going to come down to the starters being able to make shots, especially at the end of the game if this gets close. But, throughout the series, though, you still need that bench, because if you're relying on your starters to play 44 minutes every single game, it's going to hurt you down the road. So, at the end of the day, I think Washington, they've got a very good chance to win this. But I'm going to choose Atlanta to win it in 6. They've been the best team in the East all year long. And, just for me, it's hard. If they play the best that they are capable of playing, if they have good ball movement, if the shots are falling, if they play good defense, if they're able to get rebounds, if they're able to force tough contested shots, I think Atlanta definitely has the advantage here. That being said, their recent play at the end of the regular season and for a couple of games here during the first round, they have planted some seeds of doubt in my mind, just enough that, they need to be concerned about Washington. Because Washington is more than capable of pulling the upset. They've got the veteran talent, and they've got, a strong enough roster that they are more than capable of competing. So, I'll take Atlanta for the win. But I won't be shocked if Washington proves me wrong.